The secretary, and just pardon me as I look at my notes here, noting that they are now investigating.
I'll give you a perfect example of this, guys. If you're a female and you're going to give birth and your birth canal is too narrow, right? Your birth canal is too narrow. Genetically, your birth canal is too narrow, and you have to have a C-section to have the baby born, and your mother had a C-section to have the baby born, and your mother before that had a C-section, and your daughter that you just had is going to have a C-section in the future, then I would say don't do the C-section. I'm sorry. It might be cold-hearted, but I'm sorry, because you're passing on bad genes. You're passing on bad genes. If you're genetically not able to have a kid because your birth canal is too narrow and you're going to die in childbirth, that's the way nature intended it to be. I'm sorry. You're weakening the gene pool. Is that a crazy take?
Areas of causation when it comes to vaccines. He claims that 40 to 60% of mothers who have children with autism believe that there is some link to a vaccination. The secretary also claiming that these women have been gaslit, he says, by the science, which has found that there is in fact not a connection between vaccines and autism. But he is saying now that this is something that he has directed his agencies to look into. Again, he has promoted these theories linking vaccines to autism for some time.
Look, the thing is that there might be some people where the vaccines affect them differently. Everybody's different. Everybody has slightly different brain chemistry. You can't do a test that covers every single human being. There's going to be outliers. And that's what the scientists are afraid to say. Oh, baby. No, you can cover it up here.
Oh, fuck them.
I will. Guys, every single person is different. Just like how Marbs was saying some people could be allergic and some people aren't. The same thing with your brain chemistry. We're all slightly different. Nobody is identical. So the problem is that scientists and the medical professionals don't have the balls to say, look, your child, unfortunately, is an outlier. Your child is the 1 in a million child who is affected by the vaccines negatively. Sorry. We're not going to change the whole program just to cater to 1%, less than 1%. But nobody has the balls to say that. Instead, they try and pretend like, oh, no, it's not the vaccines at all. It's not this at all. It could be a combination of different factors. Not everybody reacts to everything the same way.
You may recall back in April, he pledged that his agency would have answers on the causes of autism.
Love you too, baby.
He said we would know in September. This announcement already sparking a lot of pushback from medical experts. The chief of clinical practice for ACOG, that's the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, telling CNN in a statement, quote, there is no clear evidence that proves a direct relationship between the prudent use of acetaminophen during pregnancy and fetal developmental issues. CNN medical correspondent Meg Terrell is joining me now. So Meg, I know you've been looking into this for some time, listening as well to what we're hearing here from the administration, from the secretary. What is the science behind this announcement today?
Well, I'm not sure if we've actually heard them cite their specific studies, but
I want to see the studies. I do want to see the studies, chat. They said they had studies. I want to see the studies.
Had been thought that they might cite an analysis that came out about a month ago that looked at 46 previously done studies, kind of analyzed the existing data. And the result of that was kind of mixed. And what they said was that it appeared from their analysis there was an association potentially between use of acetaminophen or Tylenol during pregnancy and neurodevelopmental disorders like autism or ADHD, but that they couldn't prove a causative relationship there. So you can say
and that's the key. There's a potential association, but there is not a direct link or cause. And part of that, too, is because there's so many other things happening. It's not really a control in these studies, correct?
That's right. And so if you are taking Tylenol for a fever, for an infection, for pain, and then subsequently have a child who's diagnosed with autism, is it because you took Tylenol? Is it because of the infection, the fever, the pain, or is it because of something else entirely? We should note that autism is thought to be influenced by a lot of genetic factors, as well as potentially environmental factors. It's very complex. There was a lot that we heard from the president that I think had a lot of people kind of taken aback. One thing that I think folks will find potentially problematic is this idea that he suggested Tylenol should only be used during pregnancy for very, very high fevers if you can't tough it out.
This is why Trump shouldn't have said anything, man. Trump should have not said it. He should have just let the professionals talk, because the professionals, look, Whether the professionals are right or wrong, the professionals are going to have the proper jargon. And it's going to be very hard for the people in the news to tear apart the arguments when you use the proper jargon. But when you go up there and you say, oh, if you get a high fever and you can't tough it out, then it just lowers the credibility of the whole thing, bro. Whether he's right or wrong, it lowers the credibility dramatically.
And it's dangerous
if you can't tough it out
during pregnancy. And so Tylenol is a really important medication to be able to use to treat fever. And so the data don't necessarily support what we heard from the president.
So in terms of, and just remind us, right, the reason that it is so dangerous not to treat a fever during pregnancy is not just for the woman who is pregnant. It is also for the fetus and the potential damage that could be inflicted upon.
That's right. Yeah, there can be safety issues if you have a fever during pregnancy for the developing baby.
So as you talk about, so in terms of, and you're right, we are hearing a lot. I mean, the president's saying, don't take it, saying there's no downside in not taking it. That is not accurate based on what we know from the science and from the medical community.
That's right. It can be dangerous to allow a fever to go unchecked.
One thing he did say that we do know is true is there isn't an alternative. I mean, Tylenol is considered the safest option when someone is pregnant, if they are experiencing pain, if they are having a fever.
Now imagine the upheaval. Imagine the upheaval, chat, if they do present the research and the research is actually accurate. Oh, bro, that throws a whole wrench in the operation, chat. Because like she said, Tylenol is considered the most safe, most well-researched medical alternatives, what is the word I'm looking for, man? I just butchered that. Tylenol is the most secure, safe medical option women have to take while they're pregnant.